So, I know this is kind of a change of pace from what I usually do, but it's important for me to tell whoever I can about how I feel about this. I'd like to preface this by saying that I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm independent, and this video is not an attack on either party. It's mainly oriented towards Democrats after yesterday's events, but that being said, it applies to all Americans and all humans. I'd like to start with talking about something that happened months ago. The assassination of Melissa Hortman and her family. At the time, it was really scary. People taking it into their own hands to silence people for their beliefs. I heard multiple Democrats saying they were legitimately scared. Now a prominent Republican speaker has been shot, and some of those same people say that he deserved it or that it was a good thing. Charlie Kirk was many things. One was a political activist. Speaking out about what you believe is a foundational right and value of this country and one of the reasons it was founded. He was also the father of 2 small children who are now fatherless. He did not commit any known crimes, at least none relating to this at all. And the man was killed because he spoke out about what he cared about and thought was right. Next, I'd like to address the fact that he said gun deaths are worth it for Second Amendment rights. This is the most popular way that people try to justify his murder. Yes, by definition, it is ironic, but it's not funny. His statement does not call gun violence necessary or good in any way. All he says is that it's worth it so we can have guns at all. Like how cars are the greatest cause of adolescent death, yet we still believe we should be able to own them. Or like how we're allowed to have ropes and knives, but pretty much everyone considers suicide a bad thing. In the original quote, he specifically said that it was unfortunate. In reality, though, I'm not here to talk about gun rights. I'd like to move on to something much more relevant moving forwards. Stop wishing for President Trump to die. Now, President Trump has done some terrible things, and I won't go into detail because I'm not here to slander him, but I personally do find him vile. That being said, it's extremely immature to say that you want him to die. It makes you look like a buffoon and discredits your core beliefs. Could you imagine if Barack Obama just straight out said, "I hope Trump dies soon"? That's so unprofessional. Assassinations and death are not how American politics should be run. Moving on, one of my favorite genres to read is dystopian literature. I've read a lot of it too. And in almost every dystopia, both in reality and in literature, arguably the most important aspect of the government's control is speech. People are not allowed to speak out against the government. Now, many Democrats consider President Trump to be a fascist. And I personally think that's a bit extreme, but I totally get why they think that. Anyways, this belief that people should be killed for their beliefs is one of the most fascist opinions I have ever heard. And this hypocrisy is infuriating and intolerable to me. Back to the matter at hand, an innocent man has been killed, and it's not okay, and nobody should think it is. As a reminder, this is not an attack on Democrats or Republicans. I would also like to say I have been a little bit harsh to Democrats. There are many Democrats who aren't like the people I've talked about, and I thank you for not being one of them. My heart goes out to Charlie Kirk's wife and kids.